Hey pastry puffs, welcome back to Strudel Reviews. It's your girl Strudel, and today we're going to be talking about the third part of shows that were very important to me in my childhood and then eventual teenage years. Y'all know the first one was Winx Club. The second one and then the second one is Monster High, who we talked about yesterday. And today is the third and final part of this, what I call the Holy Trinity. Ever After High, who is the sister brand of Monster High. But since, y'all know, today we're going to be talking about my my favorite Ever After High lines, because there weren't as many. Again, Ever After High didn't get as many doll lines as Monster High, as it is 3 years younger. Ever After High is literally Monster High's baby sister. And just as good. And since y'all know a bitch can't edit for shit, we have Series 3 Miss Cheryl Meyer, and Shadow High Series 1 Miss Chanel Onyx being our co-hosts for today. Because Lord, Cheryl and Chanel are so fucking gorgeous, and I feel bad that I do not incorporate them in anything. So they get to be today's co-hosts for the video, so y'all get some pretty ladies to look at. Cheryl is a lot like Cher Horowitz, and then Chanel is just, yes. Also, Chanel looks reminds me very much of Catty Noir, and I should have had her in yesterday's video now that I think about it. Okay, enough dilly-dallying. For the first Ever After High line, I put Legacy Day to go with the Legacy Day special, the doll line. It had 2 waves. The first wave consisted of Raven Queen, Applewhite, and Briar Beauty. 3 out of the 4, main female characters of the show. And they looked very show accurate, mind you. And then wave 2 consisted of Ashlyn Ella, Cerise Hood, and Maddie Hatter. Who Maddie Hatter is the 4th of the 4 main girls, and Maddie was so fucking adorable. And they all looked very show accurate, and I just really love the characters of Ever After High. More or less Apple, but we'll talk about that later. And then the second line that I put down on this list is the Hat-tastic Tea Party line, to coincide with the episode where Maddie and the others had to save Wonderland Grove as the magic was dying, and they had to save the grove or they all would have went poof. And in the Hat-tastic Tea Party line, you had Briar Beauty, Applewhite, Cerise Hood, I think the other one was Cedarwood, and then Madeline Hatter came with the exclusive playset. I'm sorry. Even though I did research on this, I forgot who the 4th doll that you could get pretty much everywhere was. I think it was Cedar. And after Hat-tastic, and then the next one on the list, I put Throne Coming. Because the Throne Coming special was so good. And for the dolls, literally for the core Playline dolls, you had gotten Blondie Locks, C.A. Cupid, Raven Queen, and Applewhite. And then Briar Beauty came with the Throne Coming playset, which is kind of cool, I guess. Again, I guess. Even though, like, I was highly disappointed that they didn't do a doll for Cedar, even though she played, like, a really huge part in Throne Coming, and they just excluded her from getting a doll, which, boo! Hiss! Y'all did Cedar so fucking dirty, man. And then, the next one I put on the list is the Getting Fairest line. You know, the little line where they're all in their little pajamas. I just thought the pajamas were so cute. And then the fact they each came with like a little shelf. And like their pajamas went so well with their personalities and whatnot. Maddie's was the cutest. I love Maddie. Maddie is my favorite character. And again, it was a budget Ever After Highline at the time. And then for the next one, I put Way to Wonderland, which, shocking, I know. I actually thoroughly enjoyed the Way to Wonderland special, and the doll line that went with it was like actually really cute, and I love the whole Alice in Wonderland theme. For the core dolls, you could get Madeline Hatter, Lizzie Hartz, Kitty Cheshire, Briar Beauty, and I believe Applewhite and Raven Queen. I don't remember if any of them came with like a playset or whatnot. And then there was also the special edition release of Courtly Jester to coincide with the Way to Wonderland movie. Well, special, I should say. And that was really the first and last time we saw Courtly, and that was so disappointing because I liked her character a lot. So, yeah, wonderful. But again, I loved Way to Wonderland. It was pretty adorable. And then the next line that I put is Through the Woods, which is inspired by like I want to say a multi-part webisode where just like where the plot of the story is that Ashley and Ella gets invited to the Blue Moon Forest Fest, which is a very exclusive party for the Ever After High world, and Ashley and Ella was one of the very, very lucky few to be invited. And she decided to take she wound up taking Cupid as her guest because you know it's Cupid. She tried she spent all day looking for somebody, eventually found Cupid. And then it turns out that Blondie Locks was actually like reporting live from the event and brought Poppy to tag along to do her hair. And so there was a whole like multi-part series of like a whole multi-part storyline with that going on, where the girls get lost in the dark forest because Faybelle was extremely jealous that she didn't get invited to the event. So, yeah, they wound up eventually going to the event and whatnot, so good for them. And then for the next line, I put Sugar Coated because I thought that line was super cute. It consisted of Gingerbread House, another one of my favorite characters. I absolutely adore Gingerbread House. Holly O'Hare, which the O'Hare twins, again. O'Hare twins, like literally in my top 3. And then I know the other one, like Madeline Hatter, and then I think the other one was Cedar Wood, but I can't remember because I didn't think to double check. And it has been so long since I've seen anybody talk about Ever After High dolls. Like, I've seen people talking about the books and the webisodes, but not very many people talk about the dolls anymore, so I can't remember 100% of every line, but I do have a pretty decent memory. And Sugar Coated, I believe, was also based off of another webisode, which, like, Gingerbread House, like, caused some sweets to come alive, and that was pretty cute. And then the next one I put on the list is Dragon Games, because that was, like, the best Ever After High special they have ever made. And the line consisted of Raven Queen, Holly O'Hare, Darling Charming, Poppy O'Hare. Again, Holly and Poppy are in my top character list. And then I know Apple White came with a big dragon, and then I believe the other character that was again another exclusive character, and it is Mira Shards, the teenage evil queen. But like Mira Shards was like so goth, and I lived. Because I live for the whole goth aesthetic, as y'all know. I just love goth. And I can't remember if there was any, like, exclusive dolls to any playsets for the Dragon Games. Or if there were any other dolls. Although I know I had a fucking issue with the fact that they molded on Apple's pants. But I let it slide because she comes with a massive dragon that she can ride on, which is so cool. Sorry, I zoomed in trying to. I guess I figured out a new trick. But, again, I let the molded on pants thing slide because she came with an awesome giant dragon. And I love dragons. The whole reason Apple gets a pass is that fucking dragon. But yeah, Dragon Games was probably one of the greatest Ever After High lines they ever made. And then the next one on the list, I put Fairest on Ice, again, based on another webisode. And that line consisted of Poppy O'Hare, Ashlyn Ella, and Duchess Swan, which I absolutely adore when we get Duchess dolls, because Duchess was very much the Duchess was very much the Toralei of Ever After High, and I lived for it. I lived. And, like, Duchess's and Sparrow's little, like, interactions were so freaking hilarious. I loved it. I loved him. And I thought it was so cute because I think it was Ashlyn and Duchess who got into a competition. And then, like, it went wrong, and then they wound up roping poor Poppy into it. I forget, like, what happens at the end because I hadn't seen the webisode in so long, but that's all I remember about the webisode. And then the next one, I put Birthday Ball, which I don't remember if it was based off of a webisode or not, but in the Birthday Ball line, it consisted of 2 of the bigger box dolls, which was Rosabella Beauty and... Shit, who was the other one? Rosabella Beauty and Cedar Wood. And then there were 3 slim box dolls that were Duchess Swan, C.A. Cupid, and Blondie Locks. I just absolutely lived for the fact that everybody except for Cupid had like really pretty pastel hair colors, and then Cupid just had her natural hair. Again, I'm not very pleased with what they did to... Girl, I am not pleased with what they did to fucking Cupid in the Ever After High webisodes. Fingers crossed that Gen 3 brings back Cupid, because it looks like they're bringing back a lot of the Gen 1 characters. But we're talking about Ever After High right now. So Monster High, you already got your spotlight. This is Ever After High's time. But again, like, I really adored the birthday ball because it was literally one of the last lines before they did the whole, like, reboot of Monster High and Ever After High and no longer made them connected to each other. When we're like, hold up, bitch, what? Ever After High and Monster High were supposed to be interconnected, which explains why Cupid had transferred to Ever After High. And we find out in Boo York, Boo York that Astronova transferred from Ever After High to Monster High. And I feel like they were supposed to play a really big part in that crossover movie we never got. That was going to introduce Claudine Wolfe's old friend Una. Very disappointed that movie never came to fruition. That would have been cool to get like the proper send-off that both lines deserved. Okay, for the next line, I put book party. Even though it is a slim box line. And it consisted of Kitty Cheshire, Lizzie Harts, and Gingerbread House. Y'all know I love Gingerbread House and the fucking Wonderland Kids. Literally, like, every line that I have on this list has the Wonderland Kids incorporated somehow. Okay, maybe except for Through the Woods. But the fucking Wonderland Kids are incorporated some fucking how. Because the Wonderland Kids are every fucking thing. But, even though it was a slim box budget line that only consisted of 3 dolls and never got a second wave, it was so cute. How could I say no to that line? It was adorable. Oh man, I really loved the book part. Like, I really just liked the Ever After High dolls. They were so cute. Like, yes, please. Yes, please. Yes, please. Yes, please. I love it. And then for the last, like, line I put on the list, it was Spring Unsprung. Because, like, the dolls, even though I was not necessarily a fan of the special, I really liked the introductions of Darling Charming, Gingerbread House, Alistair Wonderland, and Bunny Blanc. Just the Wonderland kids in general are so freaking cool. And Gingerbread House. I love Gingerbread House. And then this is where we also meet characters like Helga and Gus Crumb, who never got dolls, believe it or not. That is a whole nother line, like a whole nother list that I need to do. Is Monster High and Ever After High characters I wish got dolls. But the Spring Unsprung line, before I get too carried away, consisted of the 4 core dolls that you could get standalone, which was Cedarwood, Cerise Hood, Holly O'Hare, and Briar Beauty. And then there was the Lizzie Harts doll, who came with the playset. And then there was a Walmart exclusive Kitty Cheshire. Because, like, Kitty Cheshire is one of the greatest characters, like, one of my favorite characters, aside from, like, Maddie and Lizzie. Again, like, the Wonderland kids had, like, the best destinies. And you could tell, like, all of the Wonderland kids loved their destinies. Maddie loves being, like, Maddie is excited to be the next Mad Hatter. I believe Kitty Cheshire is excited to be, wants to be the next, Cheshire Cat. Alistair is gonna be a boy Alice, and that is so cool. It's gonna be so cool. And then Bunny Blanc literally is like a human rabbit hybrid thing. I don't question it. I absolutely try not to question it because I don't want to be traumatized. Let's see. I feel like my issue with the Spring Unsprung thing is like, why did you make a new outfit for Cedar and make her a doll if she was not going to play any part in the story? And you were going to get her affected by the topsy-turvy spell? Like, what was that, girl? Is it because y'all knew you did Cedar dirty in Throne Coming and excluded her from getting a doll? And you thought giving us a Spring Unsprung Cedar would fix that issue? It's Cedar, we'll allow it, but we are not gonna let that part fly. And then I think for some of my honorable mention lines, I'm going to mention Enchanted Picnic, which was a little adorable, like, again, towards the end of Ever After High budget line. Super, super cute. The date 2-packs, Raven and Dexter's, like, little date night, and then Bunny and Alistair's little carnival date 2-pack. The Tricathlon 3-pack was pretty cool, too. Just Sweet Blondie. And then the 3 SDCC dolls that we wound up getting of Cerise Wolf, Cedar Wood, and then Raven Queen as the evil queen were pretty cool, too. Just highly disappointed that after Raven, they just stopped doing Ever After High SDCC exclusives. And that sucks, man. Like, you could have had, like, so many more. And there was, like, so much more potential for Ever After High. But no, Mattel had to, like, go destroy that all. Because they only care about their majority shareholders. Which, again, like, whatever. I'm sorry if I sound pretty petty. It's just I'm very upset that Monster High and Ever After High never got the proper send-offs that they deserved. And then they, like, immediately started taking the quality out of Ever After High and Monster High subsequently. And the Daring Charming dolls that they released, both of them had pretty much molded on everything. Molded on hair, a molded on crown, molded on pants, molded on shoes. Daring was practically useless. You look at all the other boy dolls that they released before him, and they had much better quality. But although I know I shouldn't really complain because we got a Daring Charming doll. Yeah, but I'd rather have no Daring doll over the hunk of garbage that they gave us. I think that's really all I have to say for the Ever After High dolls. And I know this video may not be as long as the Monster High video. Because, like, again, Ever After High had started in 2013, 3 years after Monster High, which started in 2010. And had only ran for about, like, maybe 4 or 5 years. Well, Monster High had ran from 2010 to 2016 for the original run. And then the reboot from 2016 to 2018. While Ever After High had ran from 2013 to 2018. So, yeah. So I would say about 5 years to Monster High's like 8 years overall. But I forgot to warn y'all again that this could possibly be a long video. So if you guys see the time in the thumbnail of this video, just remind yourselves to go grab yourselves snacks, drinks, make sure you're wearing something comfortable, and sit back and relax. Because, yeah. And again, a special thank you to Cheryl Meyer and Chanel Onyx for being today's special guests, because my lord, I love them. And again, I have either no Ever After High or Monster High dolls to use as like background, because like they're both pretty expensive on the secondhand market, and the Ever After High Creep productions, the Monster High Creep productions have never come to my area. Not yet. I'm gonna be going and stalking my Walmart soon to see if they have them. I want that Alright, so with that's the end of this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See y'all in the next one. Bye!